right? It also makes the sound. So I would have sell and scent. But today's lesson, boys and girls, we're going to take a look at these two sounds, the C and the SE. Okay? They also make the sound. Go through a whole bit of explanation. But what do you notice about how those words are written? How they're written.
Silent E.
Look at the colors.
Oh, yeah.
What about the colors? Did I write in the same color?
No.
I changed the color to with the sounds that we're addressing. Why? Because when you see our readers, that is how core knowledge alerts or pinpoints that particular sound in a story. So today's story would be The Master's Boots. It has these two new spellings that are in here. How they're, it alerts the children that, okay, before you say that word, you got to remember that sound. It's done in big, bold, black letters. So that's what I've done with even the graphic organizer. So there's rhyme or reason to why. So when I hang this up in the room, they constantly have something to refer back to, okay, before, especially for those children who still need it, okay? That doesn't say that in the program. It's because I know that it makes sense, and I'm thinking constantly of how I'm going to take this program and align it to what I need for my students, okay? So, after we've looked at our introduction of alternative spellings, we're going to take a look at our independent practice. That's where, at which point, you, depending on the class that you have, you will have workbook pages that will accompany what you then taught. Okay, this is their time for small group. Okay, so you may have, this is the suggested page that they're going to use for this particular lesson. However, you may have children who need to move, who need to manipulate words and sounds and for them to really see it. You know, you have those kinesthetic learners, right? So you have where they would have to cut and paste using the same words, same sounds that we addressed in the instruction. And now the cut and paste, you create a teacher, okay, using this material. Or you may have a group that's really, really struggling with it, and you see, you know, you may have that child that's still with the C and the sound, right? So that child needs that a little more support. I like to use these pages to play bingo. Okay? Doesn't say that in the program, but I'm creative. I'm doing what best needs of my students. So I've taken 3 different pages and tiered the activities using the same materials from the program. Okay? So I have my time where you have your independent practice. Then we're going to go into our reading and writing. So you have the Nitwit Tales. You have a reader that supports what the teacher's guide entails. And it has a table of contents where I'm always thinking of literacy piece, okay? So teaching them how to even look up using a table of contents. We're looking at page 10. I may have them, as they're flipping the pages, well, who's in the 10's place, what's in the 1's place, and then we get to page 10. Okay? Now, the Master's Boots. Did I just start reading? Now this could be done as a whole group, especially sometimes they do, depending on the type of lesson, you may have where you're reading the story the next day, okay, the same story. So it depends. You have to look at your unit and the next lesson to see if this story is still being used. Because if it is, then I say, okay, day 1, I'm going to utilize and start looking at literary skills and strategies. So I'm going to pull out certain vocabulary in here that I may think that my children may have a hard time with. Now you may have children that are a little bit more advanced. Those kids, you put them off, I hate sending them off to the corner, but you may put them in a group and they can partner read, okay? Then you may have those children who are struggling. Those are children that you may work with using this reader, okay? Here you are. You start reading? No. You're going to take a look at this title. What is that title dealing with? Main idea. This is the time where it's not in the program to talk about main idea and making prediction, but you may build background from this. This is a story that's originated in China. Pull out the map. Talk about it. To build that background before you go into reading the story. Discuss a little bit about the story elements. Take a look at the picture. All of those things are best practices that we should be doing to teach children how to read in the first place, whether it's this book or any other book. So just because it's this book, that doesn't go out the window. It's just using this book. Okay? Master. You take advantage. They may not know what a master is. The little 6-year-olds. Okay? So these are things that we may take for granted, but we don't want to lose while we're incorporating them. So we'll read through the story.